Tonight, the spotlight moves to Stadium Championship Series East. It will be a night to remember at the Alamo when Texas's own World Finals champion debuts JCB Digatron, as 11 of the best in the world look to dethrone Tyler Menninga as the sport's biggest star. And in his final season, will Professor ride off into the sunset with one more maximum win? Find out when round 4 of Monster Jam begins right now.
And here we go! Final quarter, England's got it! And he is your racing champion! Oh, can he get the save? And he's got it! Going up! Oh, yeah! He's going high! That is a Ledoux leap off the container! With the combination move! Oh my goodness! Huge air, and he's gonna make the save!
Monster Jam is back for our 25th year at the historic Alamodome in San Antonio for round 4 with Stadium Championship Series East. I'm Scott Jordan alongside the 7 Deuce Adam Entignap. It's to kick off the Stadium Championship Series East. There's a lot going on here on this series, Adam. First, let's start with Tyler Menninga. Dominant last year, winning the Blue Series, wins the World Finals Championship, sweeps the Superstar Challenge. Does Tyler continue with his winning ways this season?
Man, it sure seems like it. Tyler Menninga last year just kept getting better and better and better, and he is one of the rising stars in our sport. For me, Tyler Menninga is the guy for this championship, and he's got a target on his back.
Tom Meents begins his final season as an active competitor. Do you think there's going to be too much surrounding this for him to compete at a high level, or could he focus on winning and go out on top?
You know, in my last Supercross season, it was one of those things where I wasn't really focused on, you know, the championship. I was focusing on soaking in every single moment and having a good time. For Tom, I think he's just going to let it come. If tonight is his night, then it'll be. But if not, he's going to let it go. But I think we'll see some big highlights.
Finally, Tristan England debuts JCB Digatron here in his first Stadium Championship Series. As the reigning World Finals champion, everybody's going to be looking to take him out. Will the pressure of not only that come into play, but also the pressure of being in a new truck too much for him?
Well, I mean, he's a series champion, he's a World Finals champion, and he's the Superstar Challenge most valuable driver. So for pressure-wise, I don't think that's going to get to him. For Tristan England, I think the biggest thing is just talking to him. It's going to be within himself. Is he going to beat himself up? Is he going to put too much pressure on himself? All that surrounding stuff outside, he doesn't care about. Tristan wants to win, and we'll see how it comes out.
It's going to start for him tonight. Let's hear from the reigning World Finals racing champion, JCB Digatron's Tristan England, who's with our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
The last 6 months have really been a whirlwind for you. First, World Finals racing champion, then the announcement of this brand new truck, and now here we are debuting on a Stadium Championship Series for the first time. What kind of feelings do we have coming into this weekend?
Man, the feelings are out of this world. I'm super pumped about the new truck, the new partnership with JCB. The Feld family and the JCB family, those partnerships together, it's all about being better, and that's what JCB's been about. That's one of their slogans. So I can't wait to get behind the wheel of this thing, dig the competition, but I'm going to have a lot of fun. I've got one of the best technicians, UNOH technicians right here, Howie Dalton. He's been around for a very long time. He knows all the ins and outs, and he's helping us out, and we're going to have a great year this year.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's take a look at the lineup for Stadium Championship Series East. Mike Pagliarulo in for his brother Nick, who's expecting a child any day now. We wish him all the best. But tonight, Adam, who do you like to step up and challenge for the championship?
I mean, we talked about it in the intro. I got to go with Tyler Menninga. He's coming off that last year Stadium Championship Series Blue win, and I think he's the one to be on top.
Drivers going to compete tonight in 3 competitions: JCB Racing, the Great Cliff Skills Challenge, and Freestyle. Points awarded based on finish. 12 goes to the winner, and it goes down from there. The driver with the most points at the end of the event will be crowned the overall event champion. And now we get the track talk, Adam. New year, new series, new track. We see the berm out there. What are some of the obstacles that drivers are going to have to compete with here?
Well, I think you said it right there. It's a brand new track, and right now it's an even playing field for all these drivers. It's a clean slate and a brand new opportunity to establish confidence. This track is going to be tough tonight with how slick it is here in San Antonio, but the tough part is going to be not to overdrive the track and find your marks and find your points. Making sure you stay tight in those first 2 berms is crucial for the win, and I think that's what's going to make or break you.
Well, it's 1 lap inside the berm, 1 lap outside of the berm, so it's really about control and then speed on the outside, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
First competition will be racing. Let's take a look at the bracket. Shaker, El Toro Loco, Megalodon versus Kraken, Black Pearl against Gravedigger, Bad Company versus Max D. First round buys go to Grey Clips, Mohawk Warrior, JCB Digatron, Lucas Stabilizer, and Jester. Adam, what do you like in this bracket?
I mean, I got to go with Black Pearl versus Gravedigger. Tyler has a 6-race winning streak in the Alamodome, but Cole Bernard, he got a win in 2022 on this dirt.
Yeah, Cole, a lot of experience here. Had an off year last year competing on Stadium Championship Series Red. Now trying to get it done on Stadium Championship Series East. Great first bracket. Loving the buy runs as well. We'll see what happens. And we're going to waste no time. First race of the night, Ryan Disharoon and Shaker against Jamie Garner and El Toro Loco. And for some insight about lane choice on this track, let's rejoin our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Guys, when I talked to the drivers before our event today, every one of them had the same opinion about the track. They said, well, it does have its technical aspects to it. There's a lot of room to make up for mistakes out there. They said the other good thing about this is it's very even for drivers on each lane. One lane is not better than the other.
All right, thank you, Leslie. We're seeing some flying Ryan action over there. Ryan Disharoon going all over the place on the right side of this track.
Ryan Disharoon and Jamie Garner both wide in those turns. This is a slick track here tonight.
Ryan Disharoon's going to take the win. Take a look at the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Ryan Disharoon grabs that pod right there. He tries to make a little bit of a correction, comes off the edge of that landing, swaps out, but still comes away with the win.
Up next is Cole Bernard in the Black Pearl against the 2023 Stadium Blue champion, Tyler Menninga. You talked about this, Tyler. A lot of success here in the Alamodome. He's 7-1. That was him going around the berm here, that full lap around the berm. You got those pods to contend with as well.
This is a very close race. Cole and Tyler nice and tight, but Tyler took that last corner even tighter and grabbed the pod.
He's got a lead, though, on Cole Bernard here. Final corner coming up for Tyler Menninga. Cole hits the pod, and he's going to go sideways. He's got to straighten up, and that is all the difference. Tyler Menninga needs Gravedigger advancing with a time of 27.662.
You can see right here, Cole Bernard takes it just a little too tight, grabs the pod, has to get off the throttle, make a correction, and Tyler Menninga comes away with the win.
Next out, John Gordon in Bad Company. He's going to go up against 14-time World Finals champion Tom Meents and Max D. Tom rocking that combination body.
Oh, a little slow off the line for Max D, but Bad Company going wide in that second berm.
Tom Meents now up on 3 wheels, drifting across that turn on the far side of that track. And Tom Meents crosses the finish line, gets low, takes a nose wheelie. Final corner here for Tom Meents. You see those 2 chalk lines there. They got to cross it twice, one's on each side, and Tom gets across that second line first. Max D advance and take a look at the original Super Glue replay.
It looks like Bad Company gets a good slide, but Max D nice and wide, gets straightened up, and look at how much speed he gets to launch across the finish line.
Seeing different strategies so far take the racing bracket. Here's 2-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc in Megalodon, and he's going to get the rookie Mike Pagliarulo in Kraken, represented Team Tom Foolery. Final race of round 1 here. Todd LeDuc going in that middle. Nice lane there for Todd LeDuc in Megalodon as he's trying to get out. We'll see if the rookie's got it. Clips that pod. Those jammers inside the berm are going to be a problem all year.
Oh no, Kraken oversteers just a little bit, has to correct and go on the outside of that pod. It looks like Todd LeDuc has the clear advantage.
And Todd LeDuc now trying to turn on the jets here as Kraken is stuck on the other side of the track. And Megalodon now goes up across the finish line.
Oh!
And Todd LeDuc's just going to run right out of room there. As we take a look at the replay, here's the finish.
Here he comes. Everything looks good, and it looks like the edge of that BKT grabs the dirt. He runs right into the barrier. That could be a problem,
That's going to be
Scott.
more than a problem, Adam. That's a DQ. Kraken will advance. He is, however, being taken out to the pits as we look at the bracket for round 2. Grey Clips, Mohawk Warrior, Shaker, JCB Digatron, Kraken, Lucas Stabilizer, Gravedigger, and Jester versus Max D in our round 2 matchups. Been a fast-paced start to the night, and round 2 of JCB Racing is next. Don't go anywhere. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. Welcome back to San Antonio for the second round of JCB Racing. And up first at the Alamodome, it's going to be Ryan Disharoon and Shaker, and he's going to go up against Bryce Kenny and Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce had a great year in racing in 2023, 4 racing wins, and he's had some success here at the Alamodome as well. Round 2 has begun. Bryce Kenny goes up high on the berm, and Shaker trying to go down low now. Bryce going to get out of here first. Shaker, though, with a slight edge by about a half a BKT tire.
Man, this first corner after you get out of that inner circle is so difficult. You can see Bryce Kenny just went a little wide, a little deep into that corner, and now Shaker has a big advantage. Oh, and Shaker over throttles and spins out.
Yeah, the win in his sight, Adam. He was right there, the finish line right in front of him. Bryce Kenny's going to advance.
Bryce Kenny, you can see right here, goes a little wide, but Shaker, he grabs the throttle just a little too hard mid-slide and gets a little spin out, giving Bryce Kenny the win.
Tyler Menninga now with 7 straight wins in San Antonio. He's up against Lindsey Reed and Lucas Stabilizer, making her debut tonight in the Alamodome in that truck. For more on that, let's check in with Leslie.
Matt Gahn, Tyler Menninga's crew chief, told me that Tyler is still trying to find his marks out here. Even though he got into practice laps, he did run this track in the fall like everyone else did. So he doesn't know exactly where to turn or how to hit that berm out here. He's still feeling it out.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Tyler Menninga goes low. He's got some momentum here. Lindsey Reed struggling a little bit on the far side track. Tyler Menninga going to make this one look easy. He is up over the ramp. He takes the win. Take a look at the original Super Glue replay.
Lindsey Reed just a little too wide out there. You can see her kind of drifting out, but Tyler Menninga, that left front wheel gets a jump, but he's staying nice and tight close to those pods.
Advancing from round 1, Tom Meents in Max D. He goes up against Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Matt had to make a motor swap yesterday at practice, so a new motor in Jester. We'll see how that plays out here in this round 2 race. And now Tom clips that back wheel up the top side of the berm. That's going to give him a slight advantage. He's got the momentum. And Jester giving him everything he's got, but it's Max D with the lead.
Max D a little inside on the exit of the first berm on that inner circle, but it looks like he's made up some time. Jester making a mistake on the opposite side.
Yeah, Jester goes off the ramp, off to the right here. That's going to cost him. Tom Meents going to get a win. Big air for Max D across the finish line. And Max D's time 28.355.
Max D coming across the finish line first, but you can see Jester has to go completely around that finish line jump and then goes way too wide on that last turn, giving Maximum Destruction the advantage.
So cracking after round 1, taken out to the pits, and the truck losing fuel pressure. Technicians unable to figure that out. So the truck not ready. That means that Bad Company comes back into the bracket to face Tristan England and JCB Digatron. Tristan had 92 racing wins last year, all in an arena series.
Digatron very patient in that first corner. Nice job by Tristan. Bad Company already got a little time on this track, and he was looking good there too, but Digatron with the advantage.
Tristan working the loud pedal here on this deep floor at the Alamodome. Nice drift. John Gordon is caught up though. Finish line. And Tristan England takes JCB Digatron for a win. Take a look at the replay.
Man, Tristan England, that last corner drift was absolutely perfect. Look at how he comes around that corner on the throttle, and Digatron gets his very first win.
We can take a look now at the semifinal bracket. It's going to be Bryce Kenny up against Tristan England, who did have the fastest time in round 2, and then Tyler Menninga gets lane choice against Tom Meents. So Gravedigger versus Max D early on in this season. Coming up, can Tyler Menninga continue his winning streak, or will the professor take him to school? That matchup is next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Grey Clips, the official hair salon of Monster Jam. Download the Grey Clips app and check in online today. It's time for the JCB Racing semifinals here at the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas. And up first, Tyler Menninga pilots Gravedigger against Tom Meents in Max D, biggest rivalry in Monster Jam. And for an update on Tom, let's hear from Leslie Mears.
Guys, when I talked to Tom Meents' crew chief, he said that the only thing Tom keeps saying on the radio is, boy, this track is really, really slick out here. He also said that when you hit those race rounds, it has to be full send if you want to make up time and you want to win the round.
Thank you, Leslie. Tom, I think, has enough experience to overcome that. Not showing here, though, Tyler Menninga. Perfect corner there.
Look at the way Tyler sets the truck with the rear steer first and then comes around with the front steer. Tyler Menninga, another win. Here he comes. You can see that front tire just barely grabbing that pod, sticking to the inside. Tom Meents going out too wide, losing too much time to Gravedigger.
Final matchup this round, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior against Tristan England, JCB Digatron. As I mentioned earlier, Tristan had the fastest time of the night so far in the last round, and he gets that lane choice. The JCB Digatron, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, one lap inside that berm area, then they go outside where speed will be the difference, and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior hits that jammer pod coming out.
I love the way Tristan England was patient inside that circle. He made up a little bit of time, and that's what gave him the advantage, but he got a bad bounce on the finish right there.
Comes off the landing on that ramp, got to make up for it here. Bryce Kenny trying to catch up. It was too much. Tristan England will advance, 26.704.
Tristan England coming around this final turn, right around the pod. Bryce Kenny tries to make up for it by sticking to the inside there, but not quite enough.
Final round is set. Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger against Tristan England in JCB Digatron. When this series was announced, I thought these two would end up in a lot of racing finals, and they get it right here in their first round. So final matchup here, Tyler Menninga, Tristan England, 12 points on the line.
Tristan a little less patient. He goes wide on the second corner. Tyler comes out very quickly. Tristan overslides the first turn, grabs the pod.
You don't see that from Tristan England too often. Maybe the stadium experience coming into play. And Tyler Menninga trying to finish it. He does clip the pod as he tries to get around the corner. Final push to the finish line. Tristan made it close, but Tyler Menninga takes the win. Take a look at the original Super Glue replay.
Wow, both drivers making little mistakes that we don't normally see, but at the very end, Gravedigger stays nice and tight to that final corner and wins by a half a BKT, Scott.
Photo finish. Tyler wins his third consecutive racing competition, the Alamodome. That's first all time. Let's go to Leslie.
So the track was super slick out here, Tyler. It's a track you were unfamiliar with. You didn't know your marks out here, but you still continued to get faster every round. How were you able to do it?
Yeah, it's a very, very tricky track out here, and I'll be honest, I didn't feel comfortable with any of those passes. That last one I was all over the place. I was running on the ragged edge. I knew his times were faster than mine, but my times were consistently right by each other. So I just knew I needed to run just a little faster. I probably overdrove the truck just a little bit. Luckily, he overdrove his too, and I walked away with the win. But what a start to 2024.
How good does it feel, though, to get that first win and kind of continue that streak from last year?
It feels good. It's a huge confidence boost going into the rest of the night. I was not happy with how practice went yesterday. I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel the track, didn't feel the truck, and so it's definitely awesome coming out with the win right now.
Tyler led the sport with 9 stadium racing wins a year ago, picks up his first already. He's got 12 points, and that puts him on top of the first BKT overall point standings. Tristan England in second, Tom Meents third, Bryce Kenny in fourth, and John Gordon currently rounding out the top 5 with 2 more still to come. Next up is the Great Clip Skills Challenge, where drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels, or they could choose to do a donut, and they were judged by fans in attendance on creativity, skill, and execution, with 12 points once again on the line for the winner. Let's take a look back at our top 5 competitors. Coming in 5th, Ryan Disharoon with a nose wheelie and shaker.
Gets that thing up at 90 degrees. Beautiful job.
John Gordon Bad Company takes 4th with his big slap wheelie.
Little slap wheelie right here, not quite the vertical that you want.
Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior on the podium. Nice nose wheelie.
Gets a nose wheelie here, gets a couple bounces on that hard floor here in San Antonio. Combination moonwalk.
Taking second, Tristan England gets JCB Digatron into a nose wheelie moonwalk combo.
Man, Tristan England's so good. Oh, look at him throwing a little bit of rear steer action in there for the crowd. Gets the moonwalk, throws here. We're gonna get a combination on top of the pod, sits it on the bumper. The control with JCB Digatron.
And getting the win, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable in this competition.
Yeah, he's always been good in this competition. Tyler Menninga, definitely one of the most technical drivers in Monster Jam. Throws into that nose wheelie moonwalk, across the pod, back to the wheelie, back on top of the pod.
Like he's taking steps in the BKT tires and a huge bicycle on the sidewalls.
Yep, getting a little bit of a sidewall cyclone right there. Those two moves. Oh, and then switches it to the other side and gets another cyclone.
Because one wasn't enough to win. He had to throw two
Yeah.
in. Let's take a look at our BKT overall point standings now after two. Tyler Menninga doubles down. He's got 24. Tristan England in second with 22. Bryce Kenny in third. John Gordon in fourth. And Tom Meents in fifth. It's been electric at the Alamodome so far. Can Tyler Menninga pull off another sweep? Find out when freestyle begins next on Monster Jam. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude Monster Jam This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. Welcome back to the Alamodome in downtown San Antonio for round 4 with Stadium Championship Series East. After two competitions, a familiar song and dance is playing at the Alamodome as Tyler Menninga wins both the competitions. We saw him run away with the Blue Series a year ago. Same start this year. Can he keep it up?
Man, Tyler has already found his rhythm, and we know Tyler can be lethal when that happens. If these other competitors want any chance at this series championship, it needs to happen on the racetrack in the first competition. Tyler gets his confidence at the beginning of the night, and he just keeps it going the entire time.
As good as he's been, he's having some issues with the transmission and Gravedigger. For an update, let's go back to the pits with Leslie Mears.
They're putting a new transmission in Gravedigger, and after the racing win, I asked Tyler, I said, man, is your transmission always that hot? And he said, no, but I think it's going bad out there, and if it's not bad now, I know it will be after the skills competition. He said, so they're gonna put a fresh one in now. He's not worried about timing or anything because he's late in the order for freestyle, but he said he does have to have it if he's gonna have the skills and the tools that he needs to try to take that third championship of the night.
Thank you, Leslie. We'll see if that transmission is a problem or a blessing for Tyler Menninga. Let's talk about Tristan England. He's had a strong start so far with 2 second-place finishes. We talked about the pressure that he might be under. He seems to be adapting to the Stadium Series well, seems to be adapting to the new truck well. What have you seen from Tristan tonight?
You know, Tristan has just been cool, calm, and collected. There's a lot of hype around him with that World Championship in the World Finals and also in that new Digatron truck getting a huge opportunity. But knowing Tristan England, he is such a humble guy, and really, Tristan just seems like he's steady Eddie out there. He's doing his job, he's getting it done, and that's something that's going to be very good for this championship. But man, when you're going against Tyler, you're going to have to be better than steady.
I'm going to tell him you called him Steady Eddie. Let's take a look at the BKT point standings after 2 competitions. Tyler Menninga doubling down. He's got those 24 to sit at the top. Tristan England with those 2 second-place finishes has 22. Bryce Kenny in third with 19. John Gordon, a strong 9 with 17. And Tom Meents, 15 points in Max D to round out our current top 5. Let's take a look at tonight's freestyle order. We have some updates. El Toro Loco out with a broken front left locker. Fuel pump changed on Kraken. Tomfoolery crew still trying to figure that out, so we'll monitor that situation. Take a look at the bottom of that order, though. Adam, you got Todd the Duke, you have Tristan England, Tyler Menninga, and Tom Meents. 4 big-time freestyle players. Who has the advantage?
You know, right now, I mean, it has to be Tyler Menninga in my eyes just because he has so much confidence going in. But Maximum Destruction being last, he is no newbie to the spotlight. So Max D can always get it done. And Todd the Duke, he's a force to be reckoned with. We haven't seen much of him. He did get disqualified in racing, but I'm sure he's looking for a little bit of revenge here in freestyle.
Well, let's get back to the track. The Alamodome up first out of Osteen, Florida. This is Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. That first spot, always a precarious one when you talk about the order, a chance to give the fans something they haven't seen before, but also you're the first one to try to figure this track out. As we take a look at the criteria, you have to qualify for 30 seconds. You got to get first 30 seconds of that run, and if you don't click a minute of that clock, you get 1 point deducted. So a lot of little intricacies here when it comes to the fan voting, but let's talk about Matt and going first. What kind of spot is Matt in here?
You know, this is one of those interesting things as an athlete when you go first. It's all about your mindset. You can have 2 ways to look at it. You can look at it as, oh man, I'm the first one out on the track. I don't really know this track. It's going to be difficult. I don't have the advantage of being able to watch people, see where those landmines are, see what to do, see what the high score is going to get. Or you could also go out, and it looks like maybe Matt's having a problem with the rear end there, but you know, you could also go out here and look, man, the crowd hasn't seen anything yet. Let's get them excited, and hopefully we'll get a big score, throw a backflip in.
And the thing with Matt right now is he also has to worry about Kraken and the issues they've had with the fuel pump. And we have a locked up Planetary back there on the back right wheel. And Matt trying to do a donut here on 3 wheels and put something on the table.
I'm not sure if that was a Planetary. I think it was probably either an inner and outer axle, one of those two. Unfortunately, at least the rear wheel's moving, but you can see there's no drive on that right rear wheel.
Still trying to push through here with the donuts. It's really all you can do, and he's able to make something out of nothing. And you got to get a fan score, and Matt's going to get one. And he will take the truck to the back to get looked at as well.
So unfortunate for Matt and Jester.
And it was a broken rear axle for Jester. Got an update there from the pit area. Up next, John Gordon in bad company out of Hiram, Georgia. So John, now you take that spot away from Matt Pagliarulo and even to John Gordon, who has a chance now for the first backflip of the night, the first big air of the night, or the first save of the night.
And you can tell that bad company, John Gordon, just coming out here with a little bit more fire. Did you see the speed? Oh, nice sky wheelie right there, taking a little dirt with them from San Antonio.
John had a tough time getting here. John driving his rig out of San Antonio, has some issues with the motor in there, was reaching out to fellow drivers and technicians on Facebook to try to get some help as he's on the road trying to make it to the Alamodome. Safe to say he did get here, and now those motor issues are unfounded and unwarranted because you got bad company tearing up the track.
Man, that is one thing that I absolutely love about Monster Jam. Everybody here is just such a family. I got welcomed with open arms, and everybody just wants to help everybody out, get to the competition, and put on a great show, and that's what John Gordon is doing right now.
And John, throughout his career, has been more known as a freestyle driver. He's won a lot of freestyles. Last year, that turned for him. He won 3 racing competitions, no freestyle wins, but he's got some big air lands on the pod, bicycle off the landing.
And one of the things that he does so well is being able to spot his landing so well. The timing of his jumps, he's landing almost in the perfect spot where nothing can really happen to him after he hits that landing, and that's going to save his truck and give him some longevity in this series.
Now gets some low gravity there as well. That keeps him momentum as he tries to shift into the far side track. Now stopping a little bit as he's coming up now towards the berm side, goes up and over, and now onto the pod. So a little slow here, trying to accelerate and get a wheelie off the near side pod.
Looked like for a second he was trying to maybe throw in a technical move. Let's see if he maybe gets a technical move off this step up. Hits the brake, tries to throw it in reverse. Not what he wants. Throw it in reverse a little earlier. There you go, John.
Not a lot of room there.
Yeah, 2 attempts there, but you can see that dry dirt just pushing those front wheels out.
And here's the original Super Glue, glued to the action replay.
Nice jump onto that racing landing. Gets a little bit of a bounce, but nothing too crazy.
7.195 is the score that puts him out front. John Gordon is leading the way here in freestyle, but will it be enough? Find out when Monster Jam returns to the Alamodome. Welcome back to Monster Jam. Earlier today, fans filed into the Alamodome to meet their favorite drivers, see these 12,000-pound trucks up close at the pit party. There's something for the whole family there. For tickets, go to monsterjam.com and make the pit party a priority at your next Monster Jam event. During the break, freestyle continued. Kraken was able to make it out on the track, but wouldn't last long as the truck was shut off with 61 seconds left on the clock. Nice-looking donut, though, for Mike Pagliarulo. Now we get back to the competition. Out of the metal shop, Ryan Disharoon in Shaker. Ryan out here rocking that new red Shaker body. What do you think about that truck?
Man, I sure did love his last body being all black, but this one, it just has something more eye-catching to it. That red with those yellow flames, it looks really good, and the crowd's loving it.
Ryan making a 7th start in San Antonio. He does a lot of fabrication work, one of the best in the business. A lot of independent teams, a lot of Monster Jam drivers go to the metal shop to get Ryan to design and build chassis for them, to build bodies for them. They do everything, and Ryan is right up there with his dad, Rick, when it comes to that. So a lot on his plate as well with this team with Shaker, as well as what he's doing at the metal shop for these other drivers.
Yeah, and you know, that can go both ways as well. You know, it can be an advantage and disadvantage. You got so much work to do because you're trying to get, you know, other parts and other trucks running and get them parts, and then you're trying to make the best truck you possibly can. But on the hood, a bad bounce.
Came right off, went too far up the side of that FMX ramp. Take a look at the replay.
Right here, it looks like he just got on that left front wheel, got a bad bounce off the center pod and couldn't save it.
Too much momentum coming down. The FMX onto the pod, loses it 6.132. Next up out of Kernersville, North Carolina is Bryce Kenny in Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He has one of the most positive outlooks on just about everything on and off the track. And for more on Bryce, we go down to Leslie.
You know, with a new year comes new perspectives, and that's what Bryce Kenny told me he has on this tour. He's really familiar with the track, so he feels very at ease with it, and is excited about the competition on this tour as well. He said he's going to focus less this season on not doing it wrong and just going out there, having fun, and really pushing things to their limits.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Interesting strategy to have fun. You're driving around a 12,000-pound truck. You might as well have fun doing it. It's a dream job. Bryce does it better than most people in the world as he's trying to find something here up on the FMX ramp, now making a turn here on the far side, trying to get center lane here, roosting the dirt at the Alamo. Now Bryce Kenny picking up some momentum over the far side of the berm.
Man, Scott, you'd be surprised how many of us athletes don't have fun at what we do. You know, we enjoyed it when we were younger because we got to ride dirt bikes or drive Monster Jam trucks or whatever that is, but you get caught up in the competition. And in my career, in the later years, you know, the more fun I had, the more I relaxed and just let the competition come to me, the better I did. And right here, Bryce Kenny letting it come, and he just gets on top of that pod, does a nose wheelie. Beautiful job, nice technical move.
Great execution, whips the truck back on all 4 BKT tires. You know, Bryce Kenny away from Adam Anderson for the first time in years. These two have been joined at the hip on Monster Jam Series on and off the track. So interesting to see how Bryce shines without Adam Anderson looming in the competition. Now Bryce, almost a supercross move coming across the track. Gets a little jump and then off the triple there.
Yep, nice job. Oh, Bryce Kenny backs up a little bit. What's he got in store?
Trying to find some room and momentum. Go for the 8-pack. He whips Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Now onto the wheelie bar on the back. It looks like he has bent it a little bit. Tie rod is shot. The back part of that body off as well. Bryce can't save it. Check out the replay.
He comes in nice and slow, but you can see he has just a little bit too much speed, over-rotates, lands right on those rear BKTs, and you can see that tie rod hanging off.
9.107, no backflip, no problem. Bryce Kenny has a lead. See if he holds the top spot when freestyle continues next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Monster Trucks, Monster Stunts, Monster Jam. Moments ago, freestyle continued at the Alamodome. Lindsey Reed took Lucas Stabilizer out for the first time. She would roll after 28 seconds and would not get a score. A tough break for Lindsey Reed. Colvin Hart took the Black Pearl onto the track, but the truck breaks a tie rod right here. Just lands it a little rough, comes up with trying to get a slap wheelie. And he has 73 seconds left on the clock. Look at that, sticking right out, 4.104. Now here comes two-time World Finals champion Todd LeDuc, and he's gonna let Megalodon eat on this San Antonio dirt.
Todd LeDuc, definitely one of my favorite drivers to watch. Comes from a racing background just like I do, with a racing family. Definitely knows how to sling this truck around the track.
Almost catches it a little too far on the back 2 wheels, able to get it back down on the track. You know, Todd's very familiar with the San Antonio dirt. He's done very well here. He's got a freestyle win back in 2023, overall event championships, which is tied for most all time and the highest score ever recorded at the Alamodome. But none of that may matter. Todd has been dealing with a lot of issues off the track that may be impacting him from an emotional standpoint. He lost his brother Kurt, legendary off-road racer, later last year. So that's something he may not be able to put out of his mind to compete on the track.
Yeah, as an athlete, you definitely can't put that out of your mind, but you can use it as motivation and definitely drive the wheels off this truck for your brother.
Bryce Kenny has the lead, but it's wide open right now. Todd LeDuc could make a huge impact with a backflip, something special, something crazy to get the fans up on their feet as Megalodon now has a lot of momentum. Comes right over the pod, a little cross-threading off the left side with a bicycle, and then back over the jammer.
Definitely a little tender here, slowing down for that pod. You know, Todd LeDuc is one of those guys that we know he gets big air on these tracks and slowed down a little too much there, I think.
And he's gonna try for a backflip, slings it off the container. He's gonna land it back hard on that back left wheel, but it looks like he's able to keep it going. Great backflip, first one of the day, successful on this track.
Little bit of an over-rotation, but pulls it off. A nice jump.
Right over the crush cars, almost into a cartwheel, but he runs out of room. He saw that right at his weight, tiptoed over him, ends up on the hood. Take a look at the replay.
You can see right here, hits the throttle up that backflip ramp and just over-rotates a little bit, and then here gets a bad bounce. You see that left rear tire grab the 8-pack, flips him on his hood, and that will be the end for Todd LeDuc.
9.156 is the score. Next up, Tristan England and the debut of JCB Digatron. And for more on Tristan, let's check in with Leslie.
Guys, big night here for Tristan, but we have to remember that this is also a brand new chassis on this truck. And while we've seen him in a handful of stadium competitions, this is going to be his first series. And so when I talked to his crew chief, Howie Dalton, he talked about the fact that he's not real sure about his shock settings yet on such a big floor. And so while we may expect big things from him, I expect to see him kind of take it easy out there a little bit tonight, break in the truck, go big, but not too big to push it over the edge.
Thank you, Leslie. Adam, how would you test out the shocks in the JCB Digatron if you're out on the track for the first time?
I mean, in my opinion, I would go big to check it out, but this is a brand new truck and a brand new chassis. You know, it's not even so much the suspension that you're checking out, the shocks, it's actually working in that chassis. As you go on with the series and you collect hours on that metal, it will have more flex inside the chassis and make it more malleable, have a little bit softer so it doesn't have that huge recoil. And I think that's what Tristan England is trying to work out right now, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. Steady Eddie, like we talked about at the beginning, will get the championship done at the end.
And what a coup it would be for him to win the championship in his first round of action in JCB Digatron. He comes into freestyle trailing Tyler Menninga by 2 points with 2 second-place finishes, and he's getting the biggest air of the night so far, left and right, one after another. It's step on, step off as he goes from one side of the track onto the container, onto the pod, back off, and then likewise. It's like rinse, repeat, and reverse. Rinse, repeat, and reverse if you're Tristan England.
He's doing a great job of carrying momentum on the outsides of the track, and I think that's something that the fans really judge well and give a high score to, is if you can keep that momentum up and get to the next jump. And not to mention that, but that 1,500 horsepower, man, that sounds good when you keep it on the throttle.
And one of the handful of stadium events he did was right here in the Alamodome back in 2021. He won freestyle in Megalodon. Seconds winding down here, Tristan England. Not sure if he's going to try to go for a backflip. Doesn't look like it. And that'll do it for Tristan England. Take a look at the original Super Glue replay.
Here he comes, a nice big jump. Man, that is a beautiful truck that he's in right now. Gets a little bit of a bad bounce, but hits the brakes there, keeps the front end down. Good job from Tristan England.
Here's a freestyle leaderboard as it stands right now. Todd LeDuc has the lead. Bryce Kenny second. Tristan England at that run goes into third. Bad Company fourth, and Shaker in fifth. With the championship on the line, we are down to the final 2 drivers. It's Menninga and Meents next on Monster Jam. We are back in San Antonio for the final 2 freestyle runs here at the Alamodome. And up next is tonight's current overall event leader, Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Well, Tristan England currently sits in third right now. Tyler Menninga with a great shot at winning the overall event championship here. And if he comes out round 1 here for this series and wins the event championship, he could really set the tone for a dominant season.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's already set the tone with those first 2 wins in the first 2 competitions. But Tyler, every time he gets out on this track, he gives it everything he has. He has a great crew chief taking care of that truck, changing the transmission before it got too bad. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
The fourth place finisher better gets him the event championship. Huge air from Gravedigger. Just keeps it right down, greases the back two wheels on the pod right over the cars and parks it right on top. And that is going to do it for Tyler Menninga. Take a look at the replay.
A huge air right on top of this pod. Gets a big bounce, but for some reason just comes to a stop. Another mechanical for Tyler tonight.
Next up, our final competitor out of Paxton, Illinois, 14-time World Finals champion Tom Menson. For more on Tom, let's go to Leslie.
We have seen these slick conditions all night long. When I talked to Tom at halftime, I asked him, hey, what's the key tonight? He said it's all going to be about drifting out here, and you're going to have to go really deep in those corners to make sure you're lined up straight for those drums so that you land straight as well and you don't get in trouble.
Thank you, Leslie. So Tom Mentz's final season. I know a lot going on with him when it comes to that, trying to soak in the emotions. You remember your final season in Supercross. You want to sort of relish every minute of it, but you also want to go out on top.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely do, but for Tom Meents, he's done it all in this sport, and I think really he wants to do it for the fans and just give them a show. So no matter what, you know, whether he comes out on top or not, he wants to put on his best performance. And right now, for Tom Meents, I think that performance comes with being wide in those turns and getting those big jumps and getting big air.
Tom in his 12th Alamodome Starwood freestyle back in 2001 driving Goldberg, and just a nod to some of his history with that 2003 Maximum Destruction body. Tom is trying for a freestyle win though right now. Tom the Duke has a lead in Megalodon. Kind of jams it up far on the left. Going to have to unclick that truck, and he's going for something big here as he lines it right back up onto the pod. Trying to get some room here for the container. Tom Meents, you see a great look at Max D, and he's going to come into this thing full send. Tom Meents goes up, Max D for the backflip, and Tom Meents is going to land it right almost into what could have been a nose wheelie.
Almost a combination for Tom Meents. Looks like he might have got shut off a little early, but he's back on. Tom needs to do something big for these San Antonio fans if he wants to get the win.
Now, there's no way he does not catch that into a nose wheelie. He was shut off there for a brief second, is able to fire it back up and get right going down the race lane.
Tom Meents, you can see how wide he's going. What he's doing is trying to get that thing lined up straight because there's a lot of spin onto the pod.
Huge
case.
Oh my, just right on the lip. He ends up casing the truck, gets it right into the nose wheel. He saves it. And now he is definitely locked up this time. Tom Meents with an exclamation point run. Take a look at the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Here he comes into that 8-pack backflip, over rotates just a little bit, hard hit, but that last jump right there comes up short, nose wheelie, pirouette, big save. It's what they want to see at Monster Jam, and Tom Meents is pumped.
He is feeling it, 9.741. That's going to get him the win as we take a look at our final freestyle top 5. Max D with the win, Megalodon in second, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior in third, Gravedigger in fourth, and JCB Digatron in fifth. Great start to the season here in freestyle for Stadium Championship Series East. Now let's hear from Tom Meents, who is downstairs standing by with Leslie Mears.
Tom, you told me earlier that it was going to be tricky out here tonight, but somehow you were able to find flow and momentum. How did you do it?
I was ready, you know, honestly, when you have over 30 years experience, you don't have any excuses. But the number one thing was, I've been coming to San Antonio since 1994, and I love these guys. It's a big floor. These people go nuts, and they went maximum nuts tonight.
You did too. What was it like? We saw that huge save in the middle. I mean, were you just hanging on?
Every week, I just want to run harder. That's what this whole year is going to be about. Max D to the max. We're going out on top.
Maximum nuts, I like that. We'll see if that is a segue to what we do all season long. Here's our final BKT overall points standings. Tyler Menninga wins it with 33. Tristan England in second with 30. Bryce Kenny, Tom Meents, and John Gordon round out the top 5. So no perfect event for Tyler. Menninga still gets the win, and he is down on the track with Leslie.
Well, guys, he's holding the overall trophy, but I know you wanted to make it a clean sweep today. Not to take anything away from this overall, but what happened during freestyle?
Yeah, I'm not even really concerned as much about the clean sweep as I just wanted to give the fans a good Gravedigger freestyle, and honestly, I was feeling so good at the start of that run. The butterflies on the motor hung up, and the throttle basically essentially hung up, so I made the decision to shut the truck off. It's a safety hazard. You don't want the truck being wide open throttle in a stadium, so it's unfortunate, a little mishap, but hopefully we can learn from that and regroup and come back tomorrow stronger.
And 33 points tonight, which is critical, so you already put yourself out to that early lead. Is that what you came here to do this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a point series. I mean, I try and not think about it. I'm pretty good at not thinking about it, but you know what? It's always nice to win that first one of the year and have that momentum going into tomorrow as well.
It's a battle I cannot wait to see unfold this season. We will be back here at the Alamodome for round 5, so please come back and join us. For Adam Entick-Knapp and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.